So, what up, y'all? It's your girl Daily with PhilaDehliaEagles.com, coming to you with my Eagles Week 10?
Already Week 10, yep.
Yikes.
Yep.
Week 10 pregame. Monday Night Football against the Carolina Panthers. We will be able to see our boy Jason Avant in action on the other side. And we will also be getting to see our alternative quarterback, Mark Sanchez, start a game.
Alternative, huh?
He's the alternative.
Very nice, very nice. Is that like the grunge? The grunge quarterback of the 90s?
Yes, totally. Sorry I didn't get a pregame last week because, well, that whole Arizona trip threw me off. But you know me, I'm back. And before I get into this pregame, I want to let you guys know that I've put the link to the Easy Pick'em channel below because from now on, I've already started doing it, is the live streams. I'm doing them on that channel now. So if you want to see me live stream, you better subscribe there so you can see when I'm live in action on game day. So Thursday, Sunday, since the Eagles aren't playing, I'll do Sunday Night Football. And then, of course, Monday Night Football, I'll be streaming Eagles.
There we go. Do we know what the Sunday night game is?
You know what? I don't know what the Sunday night game is.
We don't.
All
But
right.
It's going to be a good one because we will be live streaming.
Yes. And we'll end up talking about that Sunday night game in the next video that I post, which will be us discussing the picks for the week. So make sure y'all subscribe and stay tuned for that here on PhilaDehlia's channel. So I'm everywhere now. Where are you going to find me next? I don't know. So, all right, let's get into this matchup now. This is an interesting game. I don't know about you guys. Last week's win over Houston, it wasn't like that perfect, like warm, cozy feeling inside.
Why?
I'm happy we won, but it's just kind of weird. I'm getting weird vibes.
Weird vibes, why?
Well, I mean, we had Nick Foles go down, and then we had D'Amico Ryans go down, which is a key defensive player. And the way he went down was just like, he intercepted and then fumbled, and it was just weird. But
doesn't feel good to win?
It's always good to win. I like the best feelings when I'm just so high. I wasn't high. It wasn't like a Giants shutout. That's
Not
a whole
many
different
things in life are like a Giants shutout.
Why can't I just feel like a Giants shutout all the time?
That would be nice.
So
I think there's an app for that.
Get on it, G4D. Yeah. So anyways, I'm having some weird feelings, but you guys have been asking me a lot about Mark Sanchez. First of all, gotta do his little shout out.
A shout out for what? Who? Mark Sanchez. Sanchez.
I got teach you how to do it right. But
what do you mean? I do it right. That's obviously correct.
So here's my thoughts on Sanchez. So I think we're in a good place. Now, you know me, I like me some Nick Foles.
Oh, Sanchez. I gotta take off my coat. It's kind of hot.
I feel that Nick Foles is a quarterback that can win games. He's gotten us through this first half of the season with a winning record. And I think
hasn't been pretty, though.
It hasn't been pretty, but he's the type of quarterback that can win pretty, ugly, and just kind of mediocre. So he's the one that will get the job done no matter how it's done. So I have faith that he's mentally tough enough to win games even when he's not on his A game. So
how many A games have you seen from him this year, though?
Not many, but look how many wins we have. Right?
We have wins. We also played Jacksonville, St. Louis, Washington,
Colts,
Houston, and a bad Giants team, and we beat the Colts.
Well, I think maybe if his footwork was a little bit better, if he had a little extra speed on those legs, he might be even better. But anyways, we don't need to talk about Foles, because right now we need to talk about Sanchez.
Does Sanchez bring the little extra speed?
What I like about Sanchez coming in is that he's a wild card.
Wild card.
Everybody's been planning and preparing for Nick Foles this entire offseason, this entire season. They've been game planning for him, and they've maybe caught on to some of his tendencies. And since he's not as mobile, it's affected our run game a little bit. But now we got this whole wild Sanchez up in the mix. And I think adding that mobile factor to the quarterback position just randomly in the middle of the season could be good for us.
Could be good. I know that we got Jason Kelce back, who has definitely helped with the run game. And the run game helps the quarterback. So I think that'll be a big deal for sure.
One thing, though, about Mark Sanchez that concerns me is his mental game. He's not as tough as Nick Foles, or as I envision Nick Foles, but I think we're okay because he's coming into a situation with no pressure. He's had time just to kind of sink it all in, this whole Philly vibe, and I think he's been here long enough and he's gotten comfortable around a great coaching staff and a great team. I think that's a good position for him where he'll be able to stay strong and perform. But if things get rocky, Sanchez is not the type of guy that I think stays mentally solid, and he's the one that has those, those famous screw-ups.
Fumble!
And I'm just hoping we don't see that. And I think Chip Kelly, he's such a great coach that he'll be able to manage that piece of things. So I think we're in a good place. What are your thoughts on Sanchez?
I think he's probably as good as Foles. That's kind of where I put him. If I had to categorize him, he's going to be a good quarterback. He can be a starting quarterback in the league, but he's not going to do a bunch of crazy come-from-behind wins. But, what we know of Sanchez is his experience at the Jets, right? And so he was a rookie and took him to the AFC Championship game. The next year, they also went to the AFC Championship game. And you can do, some good things with mediocre quarterbacks, but he's also very young, right? So I think he still has potential.
Yeah.
Because if, franchise quarterbacks don't come around that often, but if, and special franchise quarterbacks like Drew Brees don't come, he had a special scenario where he wasn't very good his first 4 years, right? And then first 3 years, then he got good after, the year after they put pressure on him and drafted Phillip Rivers, and then he went to the Saints, right? So there's potential that Sanchez could have needed a reset.
Yep.
And there's upside. I think he still has some upside, but you're talking about people game planning against Foles. Foles had about a year's worth of games under his belt coming into the season. And now, Sanchez, he has years of him failing miserably, right? Some say it was the talent around him at their wide receiver. He didn't have a whole lot of weapons. Some say pressure, like you're saying.
Well, and that coaching staff just does not know how to handle quarterbacks. They're all just being destroyed.
Because he's a defensive coach, right?
But it's really bad. We've seen him, Geno Smith, Michael Vick. They are just crumbling. You send a quarterback there, and they're just.
That's a good point.
That's how you kill a quarterback career. Send him to the Jets.
Chris Wessling says that Chip Kelly has the quarterback-proof offense. Then Rex Ryan has the quarterback killing offense or quarterback killing team.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting insight there, Phil.
But bringing up the fact that Mark Sanchez had his most success early on, rookie and his second season, I think part of that, and again goes back to the whole mental side of things, is he did best trying to break the table over here. He did his best when expectations were low. Now, coming in as a rookie, you're not expected to take a team to an AFC Championship game.
It was a high draft pick, though.
But I mean, an AFC Championship, like,
came from
to
USC,
make it.
He's supposed to be, he's supposed to be a franchise quarterback, So
First year, yeah. I think when expectations are low, he's the type of guy that's gonna shine.
All right.
That's the offensive side of things. Now defense. DeMeco, what are we going to do? He was such a heart and just important player on that side of the ball. And
not only is he a very important player on defense, he's kind of like the quarterback of the defense, but his backup is Casey Matthews. So I saw Casey Matthews appear earlier in the season, and it wasn't all bad, but he's still like slow, and he's just not an NFL player. So it's not only do we lose someone that's very good, but his backup isn't a high potential, high talent guy. So it's definitely going to be felt on the defense, and it will be interesting to see how Carolina. We actually have a pretty rough schedule coming up, but Carolina is the next game, and it'll be really interesting to see how they target Casey Matthews. Maybe in the pass game if he's manned up on running backs.
So let's look at their numbers right now.
Let's look at the numbers.
Let's look at the numbers. So it looks like a very lopsided matchup in favor of the Eagles. We got an offense that's in fourth place. We're in fourth place right
now. Once we got that running game going, we've had a lot of passing yards, and
all right, I'm cool with that.
Sproles had some big runs, so it wasn't a consistent running game, but we had overall yards.
Our offense started moving up, but now we have a new quarterback thrown into the mix, who I think is still going to give us good production here.
But you look at the Panthers side of the ball, and whoa, dude. all of their offense, their defense, their passing, and their rushing is all in the 20s. So ranked
26th offense and rushing.
So while the Eagles' defense is ranked 22, the Panthers' defense, who was so great last year, is ranked 24. It's
with DeMeco out now.
With DeMeco out, I mean, if they can establish a running game, then it's going to be that much harder on our backfield, our defensive backfield. So, and those guys, I mean, to be honest, they're not that strong, right? So it could be tough. It could be a tough few games for the defense here coming up.
And these numbers only tell us so much. So right now, their record is 3-5-1, and their tie is against a team that we tied with a few years ago. The Bengals.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, it's almost more insulting to have your team tie than to have them lose. Even though it's like statistically, it's better. Obviously, it's not a loss, but it's it's embarrassing. It's like you couldn't even score. Like you were so close, and you can't even score a field goal.
But neither side could do that.
I know, but it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Right. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Let's look at who they've had to face this season. We already know who the Eagles have faced. And, we've had some tough matchups, some easy matchups, but they've all been kind of closer than they should. So week 1, it was, let's see.
So week 1, they
at Tampa Bay. They won 20-14, or by 6 points.
Yep. And then they killed Detroit in week 2 at home. They lost to Pittsburgh at home really badly.
37-19.
They lost in Baltimore really badly. They barely beat Chicago at home. They tied Cincinnati in Cincinnati. Lost in Green Bay really badly. Barely lost to Seattle in Carolina. And then lost to the Saints really badly.
They're on a 3-game losing streak and
then a tie. So
let's make that a 4-game losing streak.
It doesn't look good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the stats for Cam Newton last week. Yeah, so Cam Newton had some abysmal numbers against the Saints last week. And the Saints don't have the best defense, but he was 10 for 28 for 151 yards, averaging 5.4 yards a pass, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 4 times.
Wow.
That's a quarterback rating of 39.
Is their O-line really that bad?
Well, it's not that good. I'll tell you that.
Well, I guess they're what, 26th in offense?
Yeah, they're not
that
very good.
Pretty much
and so
is living up to their numbers right there, or to their ranking.
The rushing numbers for the Eagles looked really good last week. You know, you could really see just in the numbers the difference that Jason Kelce makes, just him being there. The McCoy, Polk, and Sproles all averaged over 5 yards a carry. McCoy had 117 yards rushing. So it's definitely a difference, and both quarterbacks were decent. So
yeah.
You know, both quarterbacks. So Sanchez had an 89 quarterback rating, and Foles had a 99 quarterback rating.
99? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm running out of storage space here, so I'm going to close it out. Yeah, wrap it up. Maybe we'll touch on this a little bit more when we do our picks video, which will be posted the following day.
Alrighty, so what's your conclusion here?
My conclusion is Eagles are going to give the Carolina Panthers their 4-game losing streak. And we will get to see Jason Avant make a little catch and do a little hallelujah and give one of our players a high five. Yeah, I'd like to see him maybe have a little presence during the game. That'd be nice.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
And that's really it. So, any final thoughts real quick before you run out of space?
Nope. Let's go Eagles.
Yeah. All right, that's it. It's your girl with PhilaDehliaEagles.com and G4D signing off. EAGLES Eagles!